Yo guys, we are back, and in today's video we will do something a little bit different, but it's probably one of the most important videos that I will make for you. So if you looked at the previous videos about the Solana token sniper, then you know how we built it. And a lot of you guys like the token sniper really much, but have a bit of trouble on how to set it up and how to install the initial dependencies, and also how you can configure a proper rug check. So that's what I will cover in this video today. We will go over all these things one by one, because I think it's really important that you know how to set it up before you start sniping the tokens. Alright guys, before we start the video, really quick, none of this is any financial advice, and I urge you always to talk to a professional if you want to do some investments. Again, these things are really volatile. They can go to zero, they can be rugged. Even if you follow me, you will probably lose all your money. And that's why I said none of this is any financial advice. It's all just my experiences and how I perceive things that I try to explain to you. But again, no financial advice. You should always do your own research. And with that said, let's jump into the video. Alright, real quick, this is what we will cover. So I'm going to tell you what kind of sniper we actually built, because there is a lot of different snipers out there, and I guarantee you if I ask 100 people what is a token sniper, they will say something like it's a tool that buys tokens really quick. So I want to cover that a bit more in depth and what kind of sniper we built and what's out there. We're going to over how we can set it up the first time, like how we can install all the dependencies for the project using npm, and also how we can create a responsible rug check, because the rug check is really important, because that will determine if you will buy the token or snipe the token or not. And it's really important that you understand how this is set up, what all the different options are before you even start sniping tokens. Then we will look at some important concepts when setting up the overall config, because we have things there like stop loss and take profit, and these things are also important that you understand them at a basic level before you just put some numbers there to start the token sniper. And I will also show you how you can use the token sniper in manual and automatic mode or simulation mode, and I will do a quick demo on how I snipe the tokens. So that's what we will cover in this video. Alright, so what is a sniper actually? So a lot of people, they will think like a sniper is some kind of tool that buys tokens really quick, and that's in a way correct, but it's also really false. And I just want to go over what kind of sniper that we built. So the sniper that we built is a liquidity pool creation sniper that actually snipes tokens or looks or listens for tokens that are being created on the Radium market maker once a liquidity pool is created. So that's the sniper that we created here. So you can also have a cold sniper or an influential sniper, or what you want to call it. And that's when a media influencer or a social media influencer mentions a certain token. You can think of Elon Musk when he talks or tweets about Doge. Then you can have a sniper that actually buys a token really quick, because often the price surges when he mentions that. So the wallet sniper, for example, or you can say like a copy trader, is a sniper bot that snipes when a certain wallet buys a token, so you want to buy the token yourself immediately as well. That can be a sniper. You can have a trending sniper, like a sniper that buys a token when a certain token starts trending, and you can think of the token hunter that we have in Discord. Once a token is boosted, you can have a sniper that buys that token and takes some kind of profit. You can also have a whitelist or a pre-sale sniper that snipes tokens in pre-sale events or when you know the mint already, or just regular TA snipers based on certain strategies when a range is being broken. But this can also be limit orders, for example. So there is a lot of automation snipers or token snipers, or what you want to call them, out there. But the one that we are creating is a liquidity pool sniper that looks or listens for newly created liquidity pools on the Radium market maker. So that's our sniper, but I thought it's a good idea that you understand what kind of snipers are out there as well. So if you remember from the previous videos, then you will probably recognize this overview, and that's actually the sniper that we built. And as you can see, buying the tokens really quick is part of the sniper, but it's not the only part, because it starts with actually listening for these new liquidity pool creations. And that's also really important that you can do this in a quick way, but also in a good way, so you don't get too much noise in, and that you can filter out the liquidity pool creations And the next step that we do is actually the rug check, where we will check if the token is actually any good, that the token is not too scammy, and that we actually want to buy it. And that's where the rug check config comes in place, that will, kind of look at the token and see, is this a good token? Are the parameters of the token okay? Do I actually want to buy this? And the next step is where we actually do the swap. And this is also optional. You can use this token in like a simulated mode that will do these two first steps, like looks for the new tokens, does the rug check, and then displays the token for you. So you can go to the token and buy it with, for example, something like Nova Click. So this, you could say, is as good as a sniper as the whole part. And buying the token is just one part of the snipe, but it's not necessarily what a token sniper is. And I wanted you to know that, because if buying any token is a sniper, then you can, for example, look at, let's see if we are going to GMGN and you go to meme tokens, you will see that every 2 seconds a new token is being created. But we don't snipe every new token, because that's just, that would not be so profitable. There's so much tokens that are being created. So you need to have some kind of mechanism that goes through this, and you can use this site and you can use filters and stuff. But for that, we use also a rug check. So we filter through all these tokens, because we don't just want to buy any token. So our token, it looks like it goes, let's look, meme, and then you have completed. So we are looking more at this kind of row. Once they are bonded on Pump.fun, it creates a radium liquidity pool. So we are looking at these tokens. But the point that I want to make is that a sniper doesn't just buy new tokens. There is always a process that triggers it, of course. But the token also looks at, is it actually a good token or a bad token, and does some kind of rug check. So that's what I want. The point that I wanted to make: a token sniper is not just a tool that buys tokens really quick. It's part of it, but the biggest part is actually filtering through all the noise and make sure that the tokens that you filter are any good. So that's really important to know. And if you think it's just buying tokens and you buy everything, I guarantee you, you will lose money if you don't have a proper rug check in place. If you don't want to just take some time to look at the rug check and set it up correctly, I guarantee you, you will lose money. Even with a proper rug check, the chances of you are losing money is really big, because all these tokens, they are super volatile and a lot of them are scams. So I just want to make the point, take your time to look at the rug check config, and also start in simulation mode, that it doesn't swap, that you can take the time to actually look at the token and then decide to buy it or not. So you will have also a lot of people that say, yeah, but you know, there is tokens like Chill Guy, and people sniped it here in the beginning, and then they went all up and they had like 1,000,000% of profit. And I don't believe in this, because there is maybe some people that did, but the chances of that is really small. And you can go up with the wave, absolutely, but it's a different strategy. A lot of these people, they investigate the tokens, they see if the memes are right, they see if the art is great, they look at the communities, at the telegrams, they go on the discords, and then you can determine if it's a nice token that has a lot of push behind it, and then you can buy it. But that's a different strategy. That's not a token sniper. So often, like, people think you buy the token here and then you snipe it all the way to the top. I don't believe in that, but again, maybe there are people out there that do that, but that's not what I have experienced, at least. Alright, with that out of the way, I can show you how you can actually get the token sniper. So if you go to our Discord and you go to repositories, under the repositories you will find a folder or a channel called Solana Token Sniper. And first what you do is read this disclaimer, it's really important, and then you can click on this link here, and that will bring you to GitHub, where the repository is actually located. So if you use GitHub Desktop or Git, you can clone the repository using this link here. If not, you can also download the zip file here, and that will download the files to your computer, and then you unzip the files, and then you have your IDE, for example, Visual Studio, where you then file, open folder, and there you can go to the files that you just downloaded. So Once you did that, you will see something like this. And if you, for example, click on index, then you will see that you have these red lines under here that says that the missing dependencies, or it cannot find module WS because the dependencies for this project are not there yet. And why is that? Because a lot of these dependencies are quite big and we don't ship them on GitHub. We don't always bundle them with the project, but we have a file called package.json, and this, together with the package log.json, holds all the information about the packages that we need. So once you download these files, these two files know what dependencies this project needs. And to install these dependencies, you can open a terminal. So you can click here, terminal, new terminal. And what you type is npm I or npm install, both works. And what this will do is it will look at these two files and it will download all the dependencies that are needed for this project. So it won't take super long, but if you look here now, we have a folder called node modules, and these are all the dependencies that are being downloaded by our project in order to make the token sniper work. So the next thing you need to do is make an environment file, because the environment file is not being shipped because it is different for everyone. So what you do is you copy all this, or you create a file. You can do that by right click, new file, .env. And I already have this file, but you should just press enter and then it will make a file like this for you. You copy all this and you paste it in this file. And here you put your private key, and you also add your key from Helios. And this you can find by going to Helios itself and create an account. And then you will get a free API key that you can just add here. So if you want more information on how you do that, you can also go to the troubleshoot FAQ, and we have a install tool dependencies and also a few videos from our members that are being created on how to do this. But that's actually what you need to do. So once you have set up your environment file and it looks like this, you are almost ready. We have a config file, and this config file is set up in a super strict way. So if you don't change any of these values, then no token will be sniped almost, because it's so strict that it's almost impossible. And that's why we have the documentation here under token sniper rug check that goes over all these different settings on how you can set up a responsible rug check. And I suggest that you read through it, and then we will go through it together, but also read through it and look up what these things mean so that you can make a rug check for yourself and are happy with it, because the rug check is really important, because that will determine if you buy the token or not. So once you have done that, you can type npm run. And if you look at the package.json file, to start the project, you can run dev. So npm run dev, and this will start the actual sniper. So it says WebSocket is listening, and now it is listening for new liquidity pool creations, and it will output them for you. By default, the token sniper is also in a simulation mode. So if you look at config and then you go to rug check, simulation mode is true. So it will output the tokens for you, but it will not swap the tokens. So you can just run it and see what output you get based on your rug check, and you can do some testing first. So that's how you start the initial project. That's how you install the dependencies. That's how you set up the environment file, and that's how you can set up a rug check file before you start the token sniper. All right, so now that you know how to start it, the next step is to make your own strategy, your own rug check, all these kind of things. And again, I want to say it's really important that you do this for yourself, because if you're just going to copy a, let's say, config, or you're going to copy a sniper from the internet and run it, I guarantee you will lose money. You need to know what you're doing, and a good start is by understanding what you're sniping and also what you're filtering by using this rug check. So if you go to the troubleshoot FAQ page, there is a section called token sniper config rug check, and you read this first, then you will also understand why we said it's so strict, and then you can go through all these settings. So the first thing is verbose lock, and This just means that it enables logs for you at a more detailed level. So if you enable this, then you will see more logs about the rug check. Simulation mode is by default on, and that means that the sniper runs in a simulated environment without executing real transactions. So it will look for the new liquidity pool creations, and if they are there, it will do the rug check, and it will also, if the rug check passes, display the token to you, but it will not swap it. So you can use that as a testing. So once you're doing your rug check, you can actually configure your rug check, run it in simulation mode, and then you can see what output it, and you can actually check all the tokens that comes through one by one and see if your rug check is any good. Then you have dangerous settings in the rug check. The first one is the allow mint authority, and the mint authority is the address that has permission to create new tokens. And of course, if more tokens are created, then that's not good for the price, for the amount, for the volume. Everything is really bad. So allow mint authority. It always has to be false, otherwise new tokens can be created. Next is the token initialized? And this also needs to be false. It means that it's properly initialized on the blockchain, so also it should be false. Allow freeze authority. This should also be false because the freeze authority can lock the token transfers and it can freeze your funds. And if you go on GMGN, they will probably not let you buy tokens when they are frozen. But if you are sniping yourself and you do all the things yourself, you can buy frozen tokens and you can buy the tokens. But if the freeze authority does so, then it can lock all the tokens and you cannot sell them. So this always has to be false. Allow rugged. You don't want to snipe rugged tokens, so this should also be false. There is like, of course, strategies to buy rugged tokens, but in this case, by default, it is false. Allow mutable, also false. These are critical settings. So mutable means that the creator of the token can change the name, it can change the symbol. All this data can be muted or is mutable by the owner, and we don't want that, so it's also false. Block reoccurring token names and returning token creators. So you often see on GMGN that they create tokens like, for example, NVIDIA or any token, Trump token, I don't care what it's called. It will come back all the time, and these are rug pulls. So we have a check in place that when the token has been created recently with the same name or with the same symbol or the same creator, then we can actually block these tokens. You can also choose to block symbols yourself. You can also choose to block names yourself. So you just have to add the names and the symbols here. Allow insider top holders. So this is false, and what it means that it will not allow insider wallets to be part of the top 10 holders or the top holders. So that's always good to be false. Max allowed percentage of top holders. So here you can set how much percentage that you allow top holders to have. So you can say like, I want top holders to only have, for example, 10%. And you can also exclude the liquidity pool from the top holders. So that will mean, if you set this to true, that the liquidity pool will not be part of the top holders and it will not be looked at when you're looking at the percentage top holders. Warning settings, for example, minimum amount of markets, and markets you can see as pairs. This can be 1 or 1999. You have to set it yourself. Most often it's 1, but it's the markets that the token is marketed on. Liquidity providers, same, you can set 1 or 999, that's up to you. These are the amount of liquidity providers that are there for this token. The minimum total market liquidity, also that you can set, that's up to you, but this is the liquidity that the market or the primary markets have for the token. And then you have other settings like ignoring Pump.fun, and this is if it's set to true, that it will ignore all tokens that end with the word pump, because all the tokens that are bonded on Pump.fun into Radium, they have the end with the word pump, and if you set this to true, it will skip all these tokens. Then we also have a score that you can give to your rug check, and we have legacy, and by default, these are the settings for legacy and 1 for max score. And if you want to skip the score, you can set it to 0, and then it will not look at the score. And the legacy rug check is the first rug check that we used, and that's also documented here on a API rug check, where you can see all these values. So if you go there, you can go to tokens, and here you can enter mints, or you can just go to their website itself. If you go to RugCheck XYZ, here you can enter tokens, or you can click on a token, and then you can see what it outputs. But if you want to test it, then you can just copy the mint. Let's see, if you go back, then you can go to try it out, enter the mint, and then you'll see that you get a response back here. And for example, low amount of liquidity providers and a score 200. That's what this refers to. So if you go back to our information here, the max score, if you would set it to 100, then this token would not have passed because it returned a score of 200 back. And also low amount of LP providers. If you would have specified that in your legacy not allowed, then it would not have passed. So these are the settings that you need to look through and set up your own RugCheck. But the default settings, they are there to make sure that we are not scamming or that you're not buying too scammy tokens. But again, it's never guaranteed, but by setting a strict RugCheck, that's always a good start. All right, another part of the config is the swap and sell. And these are also really important settings. So I urge you to check and that you understand what this means. Because once you're sniping a token, you are actually doing this with priority. And priority transactions, they have a lot of fees. And here is where you can set all this. So you can set the prior level and also the amount of SOL that you would like to pay for a transaction to go through, and also the slippage. So that's what you can set here for both buy and sell. And it's really important that you understand what slippage does and what, for example, the amount that you pay for fees, because if you trade or snipe tokens with a low amount of SOL, even if you take profit, you will be eaten by the priority fees. So that's really important to know, because some people, they snipe tokens with like a 0.2 SOL and they made 20% profit. But the fees itself, they are that expensive, and you will have profit in percentage. But if you look back in your wallet, you will actually lose SOL. So it's really important that you understand why these priority fees are here. It's because you want to put the transactions through as fast as possible, but they also cost money. So have a look at that, look up what this means, and really understand what it does. Then you also have stop loss and take profit. And this is also really, you need to understand what this means. So if you would set this sniper to auto sell, which is also by default false, so all the tokens that are being sniped, if you choose to do it not in a simulation mode, that it actually swaps, then it will not sell them automatically for you. So it will keep all the tokens for you without selling them. If you do to auto sell, then it will also sell them for you if the tracker is running. But again, you could leave this false so that it doesn't sell. But stop loss and take profit it's good to understand, and I have an example here for you. So if you go to a chart, for example, this is an XRP chart, and XRP was trending for some time now. So you see it went up quite a lot, but at some point it stops trending, and markets, they often go into a trending mode, and then they range a bit. It's different with meme coins. They go up and down a lot, but that's not the point I want to make. Let's say that we end up in a range, and you have a range strategy. And the range strategy can be, once it's in top of the range, I buy, or let's say once it's in the bottom of the range, I buy this token and I sell it again when it's at the top of the range. So what you can do is you can set a long. And here you can see my stop loss can be here at 10% deviation, or at that's if it goes further here, then it's probably trending down, and then I'm wrong. So your stop loss can be here. And then you can say, I want to take profit, like when it's almost back at the top of the range. And as you can see, ratio 3. This means you have a ratio of 3:1, which is your stop loss or take profit ratio in this case. But what does this mean? That means that if the token goes down 7%, it takes your stop loss. So if it goes down 7%, you sell it. and then you only lose 7% of the amount that you bought with your token, your investment. And if it goes up, that's what we see here, say 22% with a 1-to-3 ratio, then you can take profit. And I just want to show you that it's really important to understand this concept, that it's not that you have to set it to 100% because it's almost unrealistic, and maybe it happens in like these tokens. But from a risk management perspective, it's good to always have an idea on, I want a 3-to-1 ratio, win ratio, and then 10% I want to lose of my initial buy, and I can take 25%. So if you understand this concept, then you know that you don't have to fill in, I want to take profit at 100% and stop loss at 50%. So it doesn't make sense. So that's why I want to make this point and show you that how you can actually think of the right amount of stop loss and take profit. So that's just a quick overview of how it's actually where it comes from, these values. Again, it's different with tokens like meme tokens, but I just want to show you how you can actually calculate a decent amount of stop loss and take profit. All right, so now that we had a look at all the settings and how to responsibly set it up, I started the Sniper. And it's actually in simulation mode, which means that it will look for the new liquidity creations and it will do the rug check. It will output the token if it passes the rug check, but it will not snipe it. So the moment that it passes it, it will display the link. We can click it. And then we can go to, for example, GMGN. We will end up on the token, the ones that we will click. And there we can, for example, use the Nova Click to really quickly buy that token. That's what we are doing here. If you click on it, see, it buys it really quick. And then you can also sell 100%, and then it sells it. So that's what it actually does. So that's how we can buy and sell really quick. And probably I didn't even look what happened here. But we went up with a profitable trade of plus 33%. But I just wanted to show you how we can use this Sniper as well. So once a token comes in, I will show you how that looks after it has been sniped. All right, so here you see that eventually a token came in, and then we can click on it, and that will open the token for us. And then you can use these buttons to buy really quick, or you can look up yourself a bit. But here you see that it set our order. So now you see that we are in after it was been sniped. And you can let the sniper run because in the background, it just looks, but it doesn't buy. So you can keep an eye on this just in the beginning to get used to it. So we bought here, and if you can see here on sell, currently we are in minus 18%. So we can wait a bit and see if it reverses. That's why you can always have this mode on, because you can come here and you can wait till it goes back down a bit and then buy, or you can buy straight away. So that's up to you, and that's how you want to, that's the risk tolerance that you have, or that's all about your own strategy. But this is one way of using the Sniper. And again, you can just let it run in the back because it will find new tokens, but nothing will happen because it's running in simulation mode. And that's a really good way to learn and see what's happening with these tokens, test your own config. So we're still in this position and we can wait. Or if you say, I'm actually lost too much, I want to follow my risk management, I can just sell. Or we can just give it a minute and see what happens. And you can also use this Nova, what it's called, panel. And then you have this panel on the side here. So that also works. So if you want to use these buttons, but you can also close this and you can switch to sell. And then you can use these buttons here. So now we're in 23%, and you can say, I want to sell. It already went down. So you can also wait, and then it will It can go up quicker or more. But the point I want to make is that you can use these buttons and use the tracker in a way that it is in simulation mode, and just come here and look what the token does. And it's a really good approach to learning the config, learning how the tokens work. And again, if you go back to your wallet, and you can see here we made a small profit, not as much. I think we made 3% because it went down really quick. But I want to show you, we started with like $12. Even if we made 2 profitable trades, we went back to 7. These are the priority fees that I was mentioning. So if we go back to our token sniper, we can wait for another token and see if something comes in. Let's see. Right, this one is not being past our rug check. But if we go back to this token, so we could have waited and for more profit. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to show you what could be a strategy. Instead of making the bot automatically buy for you, you could come here after you find the token and use, for example, Nova Click to buy and sell. And then you can also stay here and, for example, see when it retracts, buy and sell again. But again, that's your own strategy. You need to feel what works for you. You need to make your own strategy and use these tools. The tools themselves, they don't make the money. It's the strategy that you use these tools with that will help you navigate the ecosystem. So that's one way. All right, so that's how you can use the sniper to use it to find the tokens, do the rug check, and then just display it, and then use GMGN or Neobullix and use Nova Click to actually buy the tokens. But you can also use the sniper to make the swap for you automatically, so you don't have to do that. And you can do that by turning simulation mode to false, and then it will swap all the tokens for you that passes the rug check. But you need to be really careful because all the tokens that have been approved by a rug check, they will be swapped automatically. So what you can do then is go back to GMGN, and here in your holdings, if that same wallet is connected, you will see all the swapped tokens appear here. So, and then you can also sell them. But I really urge you to just use the tool in simulation mode with this always set to true. Then you will see the tokens come through. Click on them, go to the chart, see how they behave. Do you like your config, your rug check config? Is it a config that is trustworthy? I mean, a lot of these tokens, they will be rugged, they will go down. But if your rug check is a bit decent, it will minimize it, or it will give you a bit better tokens. But nothing of this is guaranteed, nothing is sure. But it will give you a bit more control to just let it in simulation mode, go to the chart, see what it is. You can buy the token with Nova Click. If you go out, you can back to the sniper. Okay, wait, there is a new token. I can do the same. Go to the page. And that's how you learn your tools. That's how you see how the tokens behave, and eventually you will get better at it, and you can say, now I let it automatically buy for me. But I urge you to really do it with a slow pace so that you learn the tools and that you learn how the tokens behave. So that was it. That's how you can use the sniper in automatic and in manual mode, and how you can actually set it up for the first time. We went over a bit how you can set a good stop loss or a take profit. And we also looked a bit at what snipers are and what kind of different snipers there are. So if you have more questions about all of this, again, jump into our Discord. The link will be in the description. A lot of people can help you there. And again, I hope to see you there. And just as a reminder, none of this is any financial advice. You always have to do your own research. And if you want to make some investments, speak to a professional, because most of the time you will lose your money. Also, if you listen to me, you will lose your money. So again, no financial advice, and I'll see you in the next video.